A jury in the city of Portland handed down a decision earlier this week, that in a lawsuit that investigative journalist Andy Ngo brought against City Antifa. Ngo filed the complaint in 2020 after being assaulted for covering the Antifa riots. He and his attorney, Dorothy Yamamoto, join us now with reaction to the verdict and the details of the case. Andy Ngo, attorney Dorothy Yamamoto, thank you both so much for joining us.
Yes, pleasure to be here.
Andy, I'll start with you. It's been a long haul for you to get to this point that you're at now. If you could sort of walk us through some of what you've experienced that kind of led up to this lawsuit, which left the defendants not liable.
Well, it's been years of my pursuit for justice. In the past, maybe some of your viewers may have seen videos or seen me talk about how I've been victimized, brutalized repeatedly for my reporting in Portland on far-left violent extremists. Time and time again, the criminal justice system fell through in that nobody was convicted. And so this civil case, which was filed in 2020, was me not giving up and just really wanting to stand up for press freedom in Portland, stand up for myself, and also to send a message that what happened to me was wrong and that we can unmask some of these persons of interest or suspects. And so the verdict delivery earlier this week was extremely disappointing.
Attorney Yamamoto, I'd like to get your thoughts. What type of message does this decision send?
It really could be a disturbing message. To be frank, it was a disappointing verdict. It was a surprising verdict on my end. The jurors did seem to really care and be paying attention during the case. And you know, we do have some concerns about how fair the trial played out. But assuming that it was all fair, it is sending a message that Portland and Multnomah County is okay with intentionally pouring water on a reporter if they don't like their journalism. They are okay with slapping out a phone from someone just because they don't like someone's journalism. And they are okay with going to a hotel and surrounding that journalist because they don't like that journalism. It is disturbing, assuming that this was a fair trial, and it is concerning to see if journalists will be taking away a negative message from this activity.
Is there any recourse here, Attorney Yamamoto?
We definitely are considering our options at this point. There is a possibility for an appeal. There is a possibility even before that to try and set aside the verdict. If a judge agrees that there was enough foul play, jury intimidation is a concern of ours. We also have concerns with some of the evidentiary rulings that happened during the case. So there are options, and we are continuing to discuss. It is going to be up to Andy, though. It was extremely personal to put forward and testify about what he's gone through and having to relive all of that. It could be heartbreaking if a fair trial is had and the jury still rules the way it did. So we are still considering our options, but there could be additional steps if Andy wants to take them.
Andy, lastly, I want to close with you. Will you continue to follow these groups like Antifa, and are they still active in, what some would argue is criminal activity?
I think right now I'm consumed with a lot of pain and disappointment from how this has all played out. So I'm viewing things particularly pessimistic, but it's just stepping back, I think. I hope that my journalism has had some role in this, but I do think that far-left violent extremism through Antifa or however they label themselves are in a diminished role in Portland, actually. A lot of the Antifa militants really struggle to get their comrades out to support those who were on trial, actually.
Andy Ngo and his attorney, Dorothy Yamamoto, thank you both so much for joining us to share this story.
Thank you.